find yourself hosting this summer, I have the perfect 3-course menu that is both simple and highlighting seasonal produce, where every course is going to have your guests begging for more. Nothing says summer to me more than fresh corn, but I love to kick it up a notch and make it Mexican street corn style. I also love putting corn on the grill because it really gives it such a nice caramelized flavor. And this dressing that we're gonna make for the street corn to really bring it up a notch is going to make it even better. So I am gonna do this plant-based because I think when you are using a vegetable as your main aspect of an appetizer, it's nice to be able to make it so that if someone is trying to avoid dairy, you can have it both ways. And trust me, with this delicious dressing that we're going to put on the corn, you're not even gonna notice. So I am going to start with our plant-based mayonnaise. And this is what we're going to use in lieu of a sour cream. A lot of this street corn, it does use a mayo. I find that you can just use the mayo and be just fine. And then instead of a chili powder, I am gonna use our Bowl and Basket elote seasoning. This is so good, and you can use it on vegetables. You can also use it to season chicken. It tastes so good. And I'm gonna be very heavy-handed with that because we want a lot of flavor. Okay, then I'm gonna add the juice of 1 lime. And I think whenever you are utilizing ingredients that are substitutions, it's a really good idea to just maybe go a little bit overboard with some flavors like the acidity, like the spices. Taste as you go, make sure that everything is balanced, but it's just really nice to make sure you're still getting a lot of flavor. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more lime juice because we're also gonna add some right onto the corn. Okay. Then I'm going to cut up some of my organic cilantro, which you can put on the side since this is an ingredient that can be temperamental. Some people aren't a fan. I love cilantro. But I know there are some people who just smelling it, it's not for them. I love it. Okay, in we go. And mix that up. All right. And then you're just going to spread it onto your corn. So the corn on its own, it has such good flavor because we caramelized it on the grill. But now we are just adding such a nice layer of savory and spice, that herbaceousness coming from the cilantro. And like I said, we're gonna add a little bit more lime juice on top, and then we are also, instead of using the cotija cheese, which is pretty typical for the Mexican street corn, I'm using this plant-based feta. Feta is used to substitute for that cheese a lot of the time. So this plant-based one, because it's nice and tangy and it's very crumbly, it really works so well. It's really hard to tell the difference. It's one of those, if you feel like you want to trick your guests into eating something dairy-free, this is a fun one to do. Okay, crumble it on top. Give it 1 more squeeze of lime. 1 more dusting of that elote seasoning, and a platter of these are just perfect for a starter. This makes for a really fun, especially for the kids, they can carry it around, or you can serve it as a side dish, but it's a nice way to elevate that summer staple corn. When it comes to a summer main dish, I think simplicity is best, letting seasonal flavors really shine, and then maybe throwing in an unexpected high-end ingredient to really elevate those seasonal ingredients. That is exactly what this recipe does. This is a citrus and arugula salad with strawberries and lobster tail. So I'm gonna do the salad first, and as you can see here, my lobster tail, I purchased it at ShopRite, and it was raw, and I asked the seafood if they wouldn't mind steaming it for me. Most of the ShopRite stores, if you ask your seafood department, they'll be able to help you out with this if you're a little intimidated. Otherwise, you can just boil the lobster tail or steam it yourself at home. But we'll come back to that in a second. Let's work on our salad. So really the star of the show are these organic strawberries. Berries in the summer, it just goes hand in hand. And I think any opportunity that you can take to show off color and show off seasonal flavor should really be celebrated, because that is where the simplicity can really work for you in not having to do too much work, but you can really make something look special. And people are so used to strawberries maybe being in their dessert, being in even just a fruit salad, but to add it into this citrusy salad along with the lobster tail, it's just so beautiful, and I think it works so well. All right, couple more. Like I said, we really wanna let this be the star. Okay. I'm gonna give you a couple of tips on how, when I make a salad that's a big main dish salad, what I like to do to make sure it tastes the best that it can. So I always like to start with my dressing. So I have a 1/4 cup of orange juice. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Sometimes it's just easier to do the lemon juice. Whoops. Up. Having a little trouble there. We'll do the fresh stuff, no problem. 1/4 cup of lemon juice in there. And this citrus, you can definitely, use grapefruit juice. You can use whatever citrus that you have. Then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You definitely want to make sure to balance that acidity with some olive oil in this vinaigrette. And then I'm gonna add some orange zest. So really playing up those citrus flavors, which citrus and seafood obviously goes so well together. And this is no exception. It's also gonna help to keep those strawberries nice and delicious. If you do want to make this in advance and let the strawberries soak in it, you can. And that's kind of what I'm gonna do when I build this salad. All right. So we're gonna whisk that together in the bowl. Now I like to make the dressing right in the bowl that I'm gonna toss everything in, because it ensures everything's gonna get nice and coated. So into the bowl, I'm gonna put my strawberries. Really give that the opportunity to sit in there for a little bit. Then we're going to add some pecans. You can chop them up, but I actually like them whole in this recipe. And then we're using some Wholesome Pantry organic arugula. Again, we're trying to make this simple but elevated, and I think that the arugula just really is one of those greens that looks so pretty, especially with seafood. And it also holds up, I think, better than one would expect for being a lighter green. And we're gonna put that on top. And that's when we're gonna toss it. And this is going to ensure, by doing it this way, that you're getting a nice even coating. Throwing the arugula everywhere, it's okay. We're gonna be serving this on a different plate, so it's not a big deal. And if you want, you could add a little bit, if you have maybe a goat cheese, that would be really nice with this. But I always like to keep those options for maybe some of your allergens if you're gonna serve this at a dinner party, at summer entertaining. I like to keep things like the dairy maybe on the side if somebody is avoiding it, so that way everyone can still appreciate it since the dressing is dairy-free. Just a nice way to kind of make sure that everyone's happy. All right, so now we're gonna take this and plate it. And already, just like I said, the simplicity of those bright strawberries in with the arugula, it's just such a nice pop of color. And see, because we didn't put the arugula in first, it didn't soak up all the dressing, it just got nice and tossed. And what little we have left will drizzle over the top when we serve it with our lobster tail. So we're gonna take that lobster tail, nestle it in there, and this, you're presenting it, you really want it to be pretty and elevated like that. You don't even have to, we're gonna use our fingers. All right, I'm gonna add a couple more pecans on top. We're gonna drizzle that dressing right on the lobster tail. And there you have it, super simple, but such an elevated dish to entertain with that you can serve all summer long. With only 6 ingredients and no ice cream maker, you can make a delicious no-churn ice cream this summer. I am making my favorite flavor, lemon blueberry pie. I love lemon and blueberry. To me, that just says summer. So I have some organic blueberries and organic lemons here, and that's gonna really be the flavor in mine. But truthfully, the 2 ingredients you need, no matter what flavor you wanna make, are heavy whipping cream and sweetened condensed milk. So we're gonna start with that base, and we're gonna make sure we get all of this delicious syrupy milk in there. And that's where our sweetness is really coming from. The heavy cream is gonna give us the ice creaminess, but this is giving us the sweetness, kind of your vanilla base, and this is where you would make any flavor from. Now I'm gonna just zest some of the lemon in, and I really like the lemon flavor to come out, because like I said, that to me is really what's giving it that summery edge. So I am going to be a bit heavy-handed on the zest, just because I wanna make sure that that flavor is really coming through. And you can do this, like I said, with any flavor. So if you maybe want to do a creamsicle, you can do some orange Maybe you can do some orange with a pineapple in it instead of the blueberry and make it more tropical. It's a really fun way to get creative and very kid-friendly recipe in terms of them being able to help. Okay, let's get that in there. And then because this is going in the direction of a pie, I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon in lieu of maybe a vanilla extract, which would be more of your base flavoring. Just get some of that off, and then we're just gonna whisk this together. And that is gonna be our base for the ice cream. Now in my mixer over here, I have 2 1/4 cups of heavy cream that I whipped up into stiff peaks, which means you wanna be able to flip the bowl over and nothing falls out. And you know I've gotta try it because even if it does fall out, then we get that funny moment. We're good. You wanna leave a little bit in there to be a topper for when your ice cream is done. So take about 2 cups worth out and put it right into that condensed milk. All right. And then we're going to add in our blueberries. Ooh. And we're also gonna crush up some graham crackers. I'm gonna save some for topping. And you can see where this could be really fun for kids. Now I'm using graham crackers. You can use a gluten-free cracker. You could use a gluten-free cookie. There's always ways to substitute. Before I mix this all together, a way to substitute for the plant-based, we do have plant-based heavy whipping cream in the store. And then you can also make a syrup yourself using coconut milk and cane sugar. It's a little more involved and you have to heat that up on the stove and then cool it, but it is possible to do this plant-based, especially since you have that plant-based heavy whipping cream, because that's really where the structure is coming from. And then we gently just want to fold in the condensed milk mixture in with that heavy cream. It is important that you get this all mixed together because all the sweetness and flavor is in that base we made with the condensed milk. So if you are just kind of plopping it in, you're not gonna get that heavy cream, which we didn't flavor. You're not gonna get the sweetness in there that you're looking for. So we really wanna go around and around. But nice and gentle, because that air that we put into the cream, we wanna make sure that that stays. All right, and then you're just gonna put this into the freezer for 4 hours to overnight, and you have a beautiful ice cream. So let's serve this up. It's definitely more of a soft serve, which I think is lovely for the summertime. And I love the way the graham cracker gets all nice and soft, like a pie crust would in there. I'm gonna take a little bit of graham cracker to just crinkle on the top. I'm gonna take a little bit of that heavy whipping cream. I'll just go in with the ice cream scoop. Put it on top. And then my blueberries to finish it off. And there you go, a no ice cream machine needed, no-churn blueberry pie ice cream, ready to customize into whatever your favorite summer flavor is. Like and follow for more.